Welcome to National Press Today, your daily source for the most compelling headlines and breaking news in just minutes.
Trump's explosive remarks on Iran-Israel ceasefire spark global shockwaves. It was a moment of raw candor and uncontrolled outrage. Standing on the South Lawn of the White House, former President Donald Trump delivered a scathing tirade that stunned even seasoned political observers. "I basically have two countries that have been fighting for so long and so hard, they don't know what the F they're doing," Trump told reporters on June 24th. Just hours earlier, he had boasted online of a brokered ceasefire between Iran and Israel, a diplomatic feat he claimed as his own. But by midday, the tone had flipped. What began as a claim of peace unraveled into an unfiltered outburst. A morning of contradictions. In the early hours of June 24th, Donald Trump posted a jubilant message on Truth Social, proclaiming that peace talks between Iran and Israel had succeeded. "Iran and Israel came to me almost simultaneously and said, 'Peace. The world and the Middle East are the real winners,'" he wrote, adding that both countries stood on the cusp of love, peace, and prosperity. But during a brief appearance before the press later that morning, Trump's mood had clearly shifted. When asked about reports that Iran had already violated the terms of the ceasefire, Trump fired back. "Yes, I do believe Iran is still committed to peace. They violated it, but Israel violated it too." Then came the explosive follow-up. "I'm not happy with either one of them. I said you have 12 hours. You don't go in the first hour and just drop everything you have." His voice rising, Trump continued, "The biggest load of bombs I've ever seen dropped the minute we made the deal. That's not peace, that's provocation." The ceasefire that never was. The remarks have left foreign policy analysts scrambling. According to Reuters and the BBC, there has been no confirmation from either Tehran or Jerusalem of a binding ceasefire, while some de-escalation efforts had reportedly been initiated through back-channel diplomacy. Missile exchanges persisted over the weekend. Background: earlier in the month, Iran had reportedly launched retaliatory strikes following the bombing of one of its underground nuclear facilities, an attack widely attributed to Israel's Mossad, though Israel denied official involvement. The U.S. had warned both sides against further escalation, but Trump's involvement, outside the formal diplomatic chain, raised eyebrows. Historical context: decades of tension. The Iran-Israel conflict is not new. Since 1979, Iran has refused to recognize Israel's existence. Iran's support for Hezbollah and Hamas has fueled multiple proxy wars, while Israel, for its part, has targeted Iranian assets in Syria and beyond. Under the Trump administration, tensions deepened. His 2018 decision to withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal reignited fears of a regional arms race. According to a report from the Council on Foreign Relations, Iran has since accelerated uranium enrichment and bolstered military ties with Russia and China, further isolating the U.S. from multilateral diplomacy. The legal and political implications. Trump's claim to have negotiated peace, followed by a vulgar and contradictory outburst, could have legal ramifications. Under the Logan Act, private citizens are prohibited from conducting foreign diplomacy. While Trump remains a dominant political figure, he is no longer president. Any active negotiation with foreign powers, especially adversaries like Iran, could prompt investigation. Meanwhile, critics argue that his rhetoric may embolden hardliners on both sides. Senator Chris Murphy on Twitter said, "You can't claim you've brokered peace and then turn around and pour gasoline on the fire hours later. Trump is playing a dangerous game." Domestic reactions, division, and alarm. Reactions in the U.S. have been sharply divided. Conservative voices praised Trump's blunt honesty, framing it as a necessary wake-up call to both nations. Fox News contributor Tommy Lahren said, "Trump isn't afraid to speak the truth.
If Israel and Iran are both acting recklessly, someone needs to call it out. But mainstream analysts were less forgiving. MSNBC's Rachel Maddow warned that the comments could undermine official U.S. diplomacy. We have a sitting president who is not Joe Biden, making freelance foreign policy announcements. That is not how peace is built. Global response, confusion, and caution. In the Middle East, Trump's remarks caused confusion. Iranian state TV labeled the comments delusional ramblings of a defeated warmonger. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declined to comment directly, but emphasized his country's right to self-defense. The European Union released a short statement urging all parties to respect international law and avoid unilateral actions that endanger civilians. The United Nations, via spokesperson Stefan Dujarric, expressed concern over conflicting signals that do not help de-escalation. The bigger picture, why this matters. At its core, this isn't just about a press conference meltdown. This is about the limits of informal diplomacy in a volatile region. It's about the risk of inflaming ancient hostilities with careless language, and the fine line between bold leadership and reckless provocation. As of now, there are no confirmed ceasefire agreements, and satellite imagery reviewed by BBC Monitoring shows ongoing military activity near the Syrian-Israeli border. And while the public continues to parse Trump's words, the people of Iran and Israel face another night of uncertainty, sirens, shelters, and speculation. Conclusion: a world still waiting for peace. Donald Trump may believe he can single-handedly resolve global conflicts, but diplomacy is not done on social media or in shout-outs on the White House lawn. Peace requires patience, leadership requires clarity, and words, especially from a former president, have consequences far beyond the headlines. As the world watches and waits, one truth remains: the path to peace is paved with discipline, not noise.